Stay with me until the very end of this video, because at the end I will share my own shocking opinion about this story, one that may completely change the way you see Jennifer Aniston's new chapter. You don't want to miss it, and trust me, what I'm going to say might leave you speechless. But before we get there, let's dive into a story that has already made thousands of people whisper, speculate, and ask the same burning question. What is really happening in Jennifer Aniston's personal life, and who exactly is the mysterious man standing by her side? Jennifer Aniston, a name that instantly sparks recognition, admiration, and fascination across the globe, has always been in the spotlight. For decades, her life, her career, and especially her relationships have been followed by millions. Fans and the media alike seem unable to resist the pull of her story. Every red carpet moment, every casual outing, every subtle reaction is scrutinized and interpreted in ways both obvious and hidden. And yet, despite this constant attention, Jennifer Aniston has managed to hold on to an aura of mystery. An aura that now, in 2025, has suddenly been reignited in a way no one saw coming. On September 9th, something happened that has everyone talking. Jennifer Aniston appeared on the red carpet for the premiere of the 4th season of Apple TV Plus's The Morning Show. At first, the event seemed like just another glamorous evening, a chance for cameras to flash, microphones to be extended, and for Jennifer to gracefully make her way through the crowd. But then, in the middle of the smiles, the interviews, and the countless questions, a subject came up that immediately shifted the atmosphere. It was the one subject everyone had been waiting for: her relationship with Jim Curtis. Now, Jennifer Aniston has always been careful when it comes to her private life. She is warm, she is polite, but she also knows when to hold back. And this time was no exception. When Entertainment Tonight mentioned Jim Curtis, noting that he seemed to be a really special guy, Jennifer's response was simple, short, and yet so telling. "That's very nice." Just 3 words, spoken with that signature charm of hers, but also with a tone that sparked endless speculation. What did she really mean? Was it confirmation? Was it evasion? Or was it something deeper, a sign that there is far more to the story than she was ready to reveal at that moment? What happened next only fueled the curiosity further, because while Jennifer herself may have kept her words measured, her actions and the presence of one particular man that evening spoke volumes. Standing not too far from the dazzling red carpet, blending into the crowd but still noticeable enough for the watchful eyes of reporters, was none other than Jim Curtis himself. He wasn't in the spotlight, he wasn't giving interviews, he wasn't posing for the cameras, but he was there, quietly supporting her, watching from a distance as Jennifer commanded the red carpet with her usual grace and confidence. For many, this was the very first time they had seen the two of them together. And then came the detail that truly set the media ablaze. A photograph obtained by People magazine showed Jennifer Aniston and Jim Curtis holding hands. A simple gesture, yet one that instantly confirmed what rumors had been circling for months. Suddenly, whispers turned into headlines, and the question was no longer if they were together, but rather how serious is this? And so the mystery deepened. Because while Jennifer might not have said much on that red carpet, sources quickly stepped forward to paint a broader picture. According to insiders, the relationship between Jennifer and Jim didn't just appear out of nowhere. It had been building quietly, carefully, for several months. The two had been introduced by a mutual friend. It wasn't a Hollywood setup. It wasn't an orchestrated event. It was something far more natural. A simple introduction, a spark of conversation, and from there, something began to grow. But what made this story all the more intriguing was not just that Jennifer Aniston, one of the most famous women in the world, was dating again. It was who she was dating and how different he seemed compared to anyone else in her past. Jim Curtis is not another Hollywood actor. He's not a musician, he's not a director, He's not part of the industry machine that so often dictates the rhythm of celebrity life. Instead, he is something else entirely: a hypnotherapist, an author, a life coach, a man whose work revolves around introspection, growth, and the art of slowing down in a world that never stops moving. And this contrast, Jennifer Aniston, the eternal star under the brightest lights, and Jim Curtis, the calm, grounded figure with a career focused on the inner world, is what has captured so much attention. Could this unlikely pairing be the reason behind Jennifer's serene presence lately? Could it be that after years of navigating the chaos of Hollywood, she has found someone who brings a sense of stability and calm she had been searching for? Sources close to Jennifer have already hinted at exactly that. One insider told People that the two are casually dating and having fun, but also emphasized that Jennifer's friends have immediately seen something special in Jim. They describe him as someone with a calming and secure energy, someone who feels safe, trustworthy, and deeply grounding. For Jennifer, who has spent years under relentless scrutiny, this kind of energy might not just be refreshing, it might be transformative. But here's the real question. Is this just a casual chapter in Jennifer Aniston's life, or is it the beginning of something far more serious? And now, as promised, it's time for me to share my personal thoughts on everything we've just uncovered about Jennifer Aniston and her relationship with Jim Curtis. And I want you to pay close attention, because what I'm about to say may not be what you expect. For years, Jennifer Aniston has lived her life under a microscope. Every smile, every tear, every date, every rumor has been dissected endlessly by fans and critics alike. She has been turned into a symbol of resilience, of glamour, of heartbreak, of survival. But what we often forget is that behind all those labels, behind all those headlines, stands a real person. A person who has dreams, insecurities, and hopes just like everyone else. And to me, this is exactly why her story with Jim Curtis feels so important. I don't see this as just another celebrity romance. I see it as a sign of Jennifer choosing something that goes against the traditional narrative of Hollywood. She isn't dating another superstar. She isn't getting swept into the chaos of another high-profile relationship that will only feed the tabloids. Instead, she is letting someone into her life who brings peace, who offers stability, who reminds her to look inward rather than outward. And if you ask me, that is one of the boldest choices she could ever make. Think about it. For decades, Jennifer's relationships were defined by public expectations. People wanted her to reunite with Brad Pitt. People wanted her to follow a certain storyline. People wanted her love life to be a fairy tale written for the audience rather than for herself. But what we're seeing now feels different. Jim Curtis isn't part of that old Hollywood script. He represents something new, something unexpected, something real. And yes, I know many of you will ask the same question. Will this last? Is this finally the love story Jennifer Aniston deserves? Honestly, no one can answer that right now. Not me, not the media, not even Jennifer herself. Relationships are unpredictable, and life has its way of surprising us when we least expect it. But here's what I believe. Even if this chapter with Jim Curtis is temporary, even if it doesn't become the grand ending that fans might dream of, it already matters, because it shows Jennifer choosing herself, choosing calm, choosing to step away from the endless noise of Hollywood's expectations and to build something that feels authentic. And maybe that's the real shock here. Maybe the twist isn't whether she's in love or not, or whether this will last forever. Maybe the twist is that Jennifer Aniston, one of the most famous women in the world, is teaching us all a lesson. That happiness doesn't come from fitting into the roles people assign to you. It comes from finding what feels right, even if the rest of the world doesn't understand it. So here's my final thought. I think Jennifer Aniston's relationship with Jim Curtis is more than just celebrity gossip. I think it's a reminder for all of us. A reminder that no matter how successful you are, no matter how admired or celebrated you might be, At the end of the day, what truly matters is who makes you feel safe, who makes you feel calm, and who reminds you to be proud of the life you've built. And maybe, just maybe, Jennifer has finally found that. And that is why this story isn't just another headline. It could be one of the most important chapters in Jennifer Aniston's life.